Okay, good evening, everyone. Good evening. It is Wednesday, March 6th, 2019. Yeah, I finally got it right. Thank you for stopping by. Thanks for watching. I am glad you're here. Glad you're watching. If you're watching live, thank you very much. If you just popped in, popped out, I'm watching you. And if you're watching this post, thank you very much for taking the time to watch. So, today is Wednesday, and on the calendar, it's Walking Leader Wednesday. That's right, the reading from the good book, The Walking Leader by yours truly. It's my book. It's the 20 rules to help guide you to organizational greatness. And these 20 rules, again, are born from something I read a long time ago, and I wanted to do it. And there were no rules. I couldn't find any rules. I couldn't find a guide on how to do it. So, guess what? There was no rule that said I couldn't do it, so I came up with 20 rules. And so now they're for you. So what the thing is managing by walking around, MBWA, and there were no rules for that. So here they are now. So that's why the book, and it's a small book. It's nothing major, but it is mine. I took some time, wrote it, created the rules, and I think they all fall in line. And we truly need sometimes just a little guidance just to get us going, just to make sure we're out there doing the right thing, to make sure we're making it happen. So with that being said, I'm going to read chapter 4. Rule number 4. Rule 4, chapter 4, rule 4. The title is the rule is, do not circumvent any manager ever. Imagine for a minute you're in your department talking to your employees when a manager from another department comes in and starts to tear into one of your staff members. You certainly would not like that. I know I did not. In fact, I was fit to be tied when it happened to me. See, and they did it to one of my staff. See, how dare this individual walk into my department and start going off on a member of my staff? I don't recall exactly what the issue was, but I do remember I had to raise my voice at that manager just to get his attention, just to get him to stop. I quickly made it clear that my staff is not his staff, and if there was any problem, he should bring it to me or my immediate supervisor, who just happened to be 2 levels up the organization chain with him. And then we'll go from there. But there's protocol. No matter what or where you are, you cannot forget that. However, this manager decided he was not going to be bothered with protocol. And ultimately, he had to answer for his actions while standing in front of the facility director, and was reminded that there are certain expectations that he and all managers must abide by. So nothing makes a manager, look like someone who's solely in it for himself, and someone who goes around with complete impunity and just goes tearing into other people. Don't be that individual. Don't be that person. See, you have to respect, just like you want them to respect your staff, your group, your people, your team, you have to respect everybody else's. So if you have a bone to pick with somebody, take it with them and include the supervisor. Don't just start taking it upon yourself to go and tear into somebody, because that's not professional. That's not respectful. And most of all, that's not tolerated. I don't know any organization that tolerates that. It's just very unprofessional. It's just not good behavior, and it's not good leadership. It's not even good management. That's bad manager right there. That's bad manager territory. It's bad manager way of being, and you can't get out of it. Once you slip into that, once you get that title of a bad manager, guess what? You're not going to lose it. And who's going to want to work for a bad manager? Who's going to want to be in a department where people are constantly, defecting because something's going on? Who wants to work in an organization that allows other managers to go in and, tear into other staff members? And who wants to be in an organization where somebody's a bully and no one can address that bully? That's just the way it is. So folks, again, don't be that manager. And if you see that manager, nip it just nip it quickly, fast. It's like pulling off a Band-Aid. You got to rip it off real fast. Otherwise, it's going to hurt more, but it's still going to hurt. But again, you didn't let it linger. You didn't let it fester. You didn't let it get out of control. You actually did something about it. So yes, it's your job to go out there and ensure that you're not circumventing any managers, anything that they have while you're on your walks. Anything they have in place, you've got to respect it. But again, there are times when you, as the person that's walking around, being the walking leader, you have to step in. Of course, those are very few, those are very rare, but again, there's going to be times when emergency situations, somebody's health, somebody's safety, the safety of the organization could be in trouble. That's when you step in. That's when you step in. And if somebody questions you, it's like, hey, this is the bigger picture. I'm not worried about the little one right now, because the big picture was going to be impacted. And that, my friends, is your job. So be careful when you're out there walking around. But when something truly is going to impact the entire organization as a whole, or one human individual might be injured, might get hurt, might lose a limb or a life, then it is your responsibility to step in, say something, even if it means chewing them out, but immediately report that to your supervisor, that person's supervisor, and their supervisor. Because again, you don't want to get called in for something that you were trying to do in pure good faith, pure good effort, and you have nothing to back it up. So be careful out there. So again, double sides, two sides to every coin. There's two sides to every situation. So see the situation for what it is from one side, see it from the other side, but be respectful. Don't circumvent other managers. Don't circumvent what they've already got in place. Don't ask them to do, don't ask the staff from another department to do something that their supervisor has already told them not to do. Clear it with the supervisor first. Communicate, because that is what the walking leader is all about, is communication at all levels. So folks, today is Wednesday, March 6, 2019. Have a great evening. Have a great rest of your evening. Have a great Thursday, and I'll talk to you tomorrow night.